Hey everyone, it's Mari, and Kelly Barron and I are back this week for another episode of Scrap the Challenge. And this week we are issuing a challenge to scrapbook a layout with a back to school theme. And so what I did was I took some papers and different little bits and pieces of ephemera that I thought would fit that theme. And I found a couple of photographs. I actually took a couple of photographs in my office at school of some back to school supplies that I purchased. And then I had this Snapchat that I had taken on my first day of work that I had sent my kids, just reminding them that this is the first time in about 18 years that I was the only one going back to school. Both of the kids have now finished school. They are done their public education and they both have their university degrees, and I am the only one officially still in school in the family. So it was just kind of funny. We had a conversation about that, and then we were figuring out, well, how many years has it been since we have been buying school supplies? So I didn't buy that many school supplies this year, but I did buy a few things. And so that's what I'm partially journaling about here today, but I'm also journaling about how it's always kind of tough to go back to work after a really nice summer holiday. So some of the products that I'm using here, I'll tell you about. I'm actually kind of using a hodgepodge of things. So that lined paper is from the Life is Beautiful collection from Fancy Pants. The pattern papers that I'm using here to layer up just to map my photo are from Maggie Holmes Gather. And I have the 6x6 pad in my stash. And then I'm using just a few other little bits and pieces that I'll talk about as I go through. I really didn't have a plan for this layout. I have been so super busy. A lot of my job at work is in an office. I'm the academic advisor at my high school. And so I help the kids at school, the high school students, choose their classes and create their timetable and that kind of thing. First couple of weeks of school are super busy with new students, and so it's just kind of really been a whirlwind. So I really didn't have a lot of time to plan this layout. It was just kind of like zip into my craft room, find some supplies, and have some fun for about an hour creating a layout that I liked. I like it in the end, but it's not very complicated. It's not very intricate. And it didn't really take that long to do. So, but it was a lot of fun. Now, I stole this idea from Kelly. She did this on a layout that she did on her channel this week. And I really like this idea of taking the punch and creating that little detail along the edge of the note paper, pattern paper. And then all I did from there was I just took a few other little pieces of pattern paper to create the background, including that Hello Love polka dot paper from Crepe Paper. That was their Valentine's collection this year. And now I just am taking some ephemera from the Carpe Diem Posh Bits and Pieces ephemera pack. And there was definitely like a planner theme going on there with that. So that worked really well with the school supply die cuts that were in there. So I just did a couple of little clusters, one in that bottom right hand corner. And you know what? Not complicated at all. I just, stacked them up and just kind of offset those little bits and pieces of die cuts and glued them down. And then now I'm just creating a title. And I'm using, once again, that die cut today is from that same ephemera pack. I'm using these Ellie Studio letters, these alphas. And then I'm also going to use some navy blue foam alphas to create the rest of the title. There is a little bit of navy blue in some of those die cuts, so I wanted to continue that navy blue somewhere else in the layout. So that's why I chose those blue foam alphas as well. Now I also wanted to do something up in the upper left-hand corner, but I wasn't exactly sure what. So you'll just see me kind of experimenting with layering some things up in that corner. I wanted to bring that navy blue up there as well, and I also wanted maybe some of the green up there too, but you'll see as I go here, I just kind of changed my mind a little bit just to create the continuity of the colors up in that cluster at the top. Now there is actually gray in that polka dot paper that's in the background, so I ended up using a gray die cut up in that corner, in the left hand corner. Now I really like that make a list, and you've got this sentiments on those die cuts up at the top there, because That is something that with my job, I have to do every single day, make a list, remind myself that it's okay. And if I have my list, I won't forget things. And the kids are really good at school about reminding me of things too. But there's a lot. Right now, we're doing a lot of planning for university applications for the kids, and just getting all of their ducks in a row, so to speak, to make sure that their futures are well planned. So it's a lot of responsibility, but I really love my job. And the backpack blues is only because summer is over. It's not because I don't like my job. I really do, and I really feel very, very lucky every single day that I go to work, because I truly love what I do. So super lucky. Anyways, this layout is almost done, and it came together pretty quickly, but you can see that it's just a really simple design. There's nothing really complicated about it. It's just taking some pattern paper, layering some things up, using some punches, some die cuts, and putting things together. And now I'm just going to, of course, finish off with some splatters. That gold, glorious gold shimmers splatter is just, I think, has become my favorite gold. I love it. And I'm also using some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in pink as well for splatters. Hey, check out Kelly's video this week as well. I'm going to leave a link below. And if you go on Instagram and share your challenge layout that you do, make sure you use the hashtag Scrap the Challenge so that we can follow what you've done for your challenge this week, or your challenge layout. Thanks so much for joining us. See you in a couple of weeks with another episode of Scrap the Challenge. Bye bye.